Today was such a revelatory moment, I think, the first day of school, because we added the winds to the strings, and everybody smiled. Everybody was so happy to discover how liberating it is to let the music speak for itself, to see those oboe players just improvising new ornaments, and everybody was just listening, and then the clarinet was responding and doing the same kind of ornament, adding his personal taste to it, and the horns responded, and everybody was just making music together. We were bound to respect the text, but making the text speak for itself, making the music alive, and it was so spontaneous, so full of joy. And, of course, sometimes there are tensions, but we are here to solve these little moments, but the overall result is like there is such a joy in that process that I was so happy today. It never happened to me in many years that we actually sit and play and listen to each other. It's a big chamber music making, but it's a big opera, so everybody has more responsibility.
This is the fantastic thing. One of the mysteries and of course we have been discussing this with everybody, one of the mysteries of Italy, they were the leaders of opera. They were producing Rossini, popular all over the world. Then Donizetti, the most popular in his turn all over the world. Then Verdi, the greatest of all. And all this time, they were clinging to an old-fashioned system. The idea of a stand-up conductor who leads the performance only by gesture didn't exist at all through most of the 18th century, except maybe in France a little bit, but basically it came in France, it came in Germany, it came in England. Italy resisted. They kept the old way long. Only in 1867, Verdi, after writing Don Carlo, he's finally saying, for my new operas, you have to send them to a theater where there is a conductor. But so, what were they gaining by sticking to this old way? And I think what they were gaining was this sense of everybody as a soloist, this sense of everybody's contribution. And you have to pay a little price. Some things take longer. As a conductor, if you're an experienced conductor, you could just put that right in two gestures. No, everybody watch here, da, blah, blah, together. But that only guarantees together. It doesn't guarantee character.
And I think also what's important about this is partly that you say never change a running system. And I think they were producing so many operas in such a short time. They were used to it. Everything else, every big kind of revolution in the leadership of the orchestra would have just kind of distracted and really important industry. And I think that this is also an important part, because the players who played in those operas, they knew what to expect. The language, and I don't mean the actual sung language, the Italian, I mean the musical language was established. Everyone knew what to do in a place like this. And I think that's what is most important about this project of Teatro Nuovo, because we are actually rediscovering a whole musical language and whole orchestral landscape of possibilities. And this is, as we said before, it's challenging, but it's really rewarding, and it's really helping the music, because I think one of the main attributes of the period performance development in the last, let's say, 40 years has been the re-evaluation of composers. To have people like Vivaldi or Handel or Lehmann really getting into this core of major composers. So what I think eventually could happen if we would go on in this way, to also re-evaluate this bel canto period, because we have done a lot with singing technique and also ornamenting the vocal lines. We know about that stuff, and people like Philip Gossett, they made all those additions and they really cared about the music. But I think to go one step further and really also to re-envision, to recreate the orchestral part is something that is very important, I think, for the general knowledge and evaluation of this style.